Well, Wyoming has lived up to its reputation. Wade had a great morning, stalking lots of whitetail, and had some awesome encounters. But the weather's starting to turn, so Wade decides to forego another stalk and instead find an area to conceal himself, and hopes to intercept a buck as he comes out of the hills to feed.
The conditions here in Wyoming this week are going to be mild, really, to start, but then it's going to begin to crash. Temperatures are going to drop, wind's going to begin to pick up, but the whole time you're thinking ahead about what do I need to do as the evening progresses, as it gets closer, because there's a time of day that I like to just sit down in any hunting situation. I want to be where deer are going to head towards a food source in the evening. That's just my deal. I want to sit on a food source or intersect them on those trails. And we kept going back in our mind to this one spot where we jumped a bunch of bucks that were running up a hill. Really actually thought we were going to get an opportunity right there on a spot and stock. And I just felt like that was a perfect setup to spend the last 2 or 3 hours of the day.
Well, we've got a big, basically a canyon right here and a flat. Behind us is the Belle Fourche River, and behind that, on the other side of that, is a big alfalfa field. So we've got a wind blowing probably about 25, 30 miles an hour right now. It's supposed to even get worse in the next couple of days. There's rain coming in. We're under a high wind advisory starting tomorrow about 10 o'clock. I mean, by Saturday, they're saying we could even see gusts to 60. So for all I know, this may be the last opportunity we have to hunt here in Wyoming. So we're playing a hunch that with the wind and the situation, based on the fact that we saw a bunch of deer that we actually jumped earlier today go up there, a couple shooters, probably 6, 8 different bucks. And there's no telling how many deer have gone in there since this morning when they left these alfalfa fields. No telling how many may come out. So there's huge trails behind us. I mean, they're beat down like semis have been driving through there. You know, you're gonna play the best odds we can where we feel like we can get a deer within 300 yards, get a good shot. I've already ranged everything. And you know, I pretty much don't have a shot over 300 unless I shot all the way to that far canyon. So I like our odds. Biggest challenge is the does will probably come through first. We won't be able to move when they come by, and hopefully as the sun gets later, the bucks will show up. I had to put the toboggan on, got a little cold. The visor lets all the heat go through the roof. We needed to put a roof on for Wyoming. The clouds from this storm are starting to build. They're saying it's supposed to be coming. Hopefully that'll get those deer up on their feet. Comes a pretty good buck straight ahead. Right where that white thing is, it's out in the field. What's he look like? He's pretty wide. Got 8 points. Maybe only 7. He's pretty wide.
Is this buck going to be the one for Wade? Find out when we return.
He's a good deer. Oh yeah.
I'm all about the moment. I'm all about, you know, just certain things about a deer or the moment get me excited. Watching this whitetail jump that fence and start crossing towards the field towards me, I mean, I just got excited. Every bit of that moment watching that deer get closer and closer just felt right to me.
Are you good?
Yeah.
That's so cool. this Wyoming hunting, I mean, I love every time I get to go to the west, and I don't come out here enough. But when I do, I love it. It's big open spaces. You get to see deer from long ways off, and you get a glass on it. You know, we've got some horrible weather coming in today, and I was getting nervous that we were gonna basically run out of time. And you know, we've been spotting and stalking and seeing good bucks. I mean, I don't know how many deer we've seen on that alfalfa field. And earlier today, we actually ran a bunch of deer that we jumped out of a creek up in this hole. And we just thought that this was gonna be perfect. The wind would be right. And you could see these deer coming across this field. And I mean, it just looks like a really good, nice 8-point Great Wyoming buck up here. And I mean, that was pretty awesome. I mean, dropped him in his tracks. I mean, dead right there. Smoked him all the way. Whew, that was so cool. I love it. I mean, right there. Man, that was awesome. That was awesome. You know, I can see a little extra point right there. Just a good classic whitetail all the way around. Oh man, look at the body on this guy. What a good deer. You know what? I'm gonna be willing to bet this is one of the deer we saw run up the hill earlier today, because we jumped some deer over here in this creek right along the Belle Fourche River. I guess it's not a creek, it's a river. And we saw some bedded down and got up on them, and that's why we decided to set up in this spot right here to be able to get a shot. And there was a buck running up in that country that looked very similar to that, going up that hill. And I wouldn't be surprised at him. I mean, you could tell he's a very good mature deer, which is what I like to shoot when I get a chance to go hunt. Good and wide, doesn't have any brows on that side right there, but just a good Wyoming whitetail hunt. Trying to dodge a 60-mile-an-hour wind coming in, and we knocked him down. You can see the trail he was walking on right here, cutting right through here. Watched him jump that fence and come straight in, and we got him down.